With the recently concluded PBA draft, fans are eager to see what the rookies can offer as the league gears up for its 44th season. One good indicator of a player's future in the PBA is by comparing them to their respective counterparts who are already in the pro ranks. Today, Fox Sports PH looks into which PBA players resemble this year's rookies. First overall pick, CJ Perez goes to Columbian Dyip. Player comparison, Calvin Abueva. As a big-time performer during his college days with the San Sebastian Stags in the NCAA, Calvin Abueva immediately made an impact with the Alaska Aces in the PBA and Columbian Dyip's first overall pick. CJ Perez looks to follow in his footsteps. In terms of their strengths and weaknesses, both players almost look like mirror images of each other. They play with tremendous energy, especially in the open court, and their versatility makes them a nightmare for opposing players. On the flip side, they also have problems cashing in on their jumpers on a consistent rate, and they tend to play out of control at times. Both stand around 6'1", but Perez has more length and can cover more ground. Abueva plays with more fearlessness, and that is another thing that the former Lyceum standout can improve on, as some fans thought he was a little tentative when he played in the NCAA finals against the San Beda Red Lions. While there are still a lot of things for improvement, CJ Perez has all the tools to become the building block for Columbian Dyip, which is trying to stay relevant and make waves in the PBA next season. Second overall pick, Bobby Ray Parks Jr. goes to Blackwater Elite. Player comparison, Jared Dillinger. With tons of experience playing with the Lab Pilipinas and the Gilas cadets, Ray Parks is arguably the most PBA ready among all the rookies. At 25 years old, Parks was selected as the second overall pick in the 2018 draft and has similarities with the player who was drafted in the same position 10 years ago, Jared Dillinger. The Filipino-American southpaw stand a shade above 6'3", yet can play either the shooting guard or the small forward position. They use their size to their advantage, as they can occasionally post up smaller wings. Both are decent on-ball defenders and outside shooters, although Parks scores with more volume, while Dillinger tends to slash more and plays with a little more physicality. It remains to be seen if Parks can carry over his stat-stuffing numbers in the PBA, but the Blackwater Elite definitely has a promising player in their hands. With the recent trades of J.P. Aram and Paul Zamer, expect the Elite to lean more on the former ABL and UP MVP as they look to become one of the leading contenders in the upcoming season. Third overall pick, Robert Bullock goes to Northport Batang Pier. Player comparison, Paul Lee. At his current state, Robert Bullock is perhaps like a poor man's version of Paul Lee. While they finished their college careers in different leagues, their paths going into the PBA are almost the same. It took 3 years and a coaching change before Lee found success with the UE Red Warriors in the UAP, while Bullock played a minimal role for the De La Salle Green Archers before transferring to the San Beda Lions and becoming an instrumental part of his team's last 2 championships in the NCAA. Both are very cerebral combo guards, although the lethal weapon is already more seasoned and has more moves in his arsenal. Before Lee became the player that he is today, people initially questioned how he would fare in the league despite being the second overall pick in 2011 because of his perceived lack of speed and athleticism. He has since dispelled those kinds of notions, and Bullock will most likely encounter the same kind of questions as he enters the PBA. However, don't be surprised if the former San Beda Lions finds a way to hone his craft and transform into a more lethal player for the Northport Batang Pier. Fourth overall pick, Paul Desiderio goes to Blackwater Elite, traded by the NLEX Road Warriors. Player comparison, Peter June Simon. The originator of the UP Fighting Maroons' recent battle cry of a tin to will have a chance to become a reliable player off the bench for the Blackwater Elite, something that Peter June Simon has grown accustomed to throughout his PBA career. Both are clutch performers and gifted scorers, although the scoring apostle is much quicker and has better handles, especially during his prime. They mostly make their living in the mid-range, but can also knock down the occasional three-pointer. Although they are a little bit undersized for their position, they also have an ability to post up smaller guards, and both play with a lot of grit and pride. If Desiderio wants to replicate Simon's professional career, he will need to work on his body and his ball handling skills. Given his rooms for improvement, he probably have a tough time getting his own shot right out of the gate, but if there's one guy that people shouldn't count out, it's the former Fighting Maroon. Expect him to rise to the occasion anew as he gets his feet